It's after the show for the Bostonian versus the book. Matt Perrault and Dave Sharapan, joined now by a guy I've spoken to for a long time, David Meltzer. I don't know how to describe your bio. Can you just go ahead and
just tell
people your bio, because it's so
Please.
incredible, the story. We'll get into a lot of it, but how do you describe what you do?
I think best entrepreneur, investor, author. You know, I'm a speaker as well, but I think people that are entrepreneurs today, inherent in being an entrepreneur is like being a superhero. And I'm really grateful for guys like Gary Vee that have created this entrepreneurial celebrity.
Right.
Because if somebody would have told me that people, when I told them I was an entrepreneur when I started this out of law school, that they were like, "Oh, so you're unemployed?" It was like being I'm from California.
Absolutely.
It was like
Sounds a lot like us right now.
Where do you bartend? That's what the next question was. Or then
so
you
went
went
have
to
a law degree?
Yeah, I got out. I actually had a really high-paying job, and I told my mom in 1992 that I was going to work in the internet because I'm entrepreneurial.
Right.
And my mom told me the internet was a fad.
Ooh.
I was making a huge mistake.
Yep.
It would never work.
Nope.
And 9 months later, I was a millionaire. And then we sold for $3.4 billion in '95, and that gave me a lot of options.
She give you credit then or no?
Oh yeah, I bought her a house and a car. So even if she didn't give me
Oh,
credit,
see, that's what you got to do.
well, that screwed me up because I thought money bought love and happiness when I bought her that, and everything I did all the way through running Lee Steinberg Sports and Entertainment, the agency, I thought, shit, it's because I made a lot of money.
Right.
But, you know, that ended up in tragedy. I ended up losing everything, over $100 million, and that's when my life 17 years ago really started, because I started really understanding what and how I could impact people.
Dave's going to love this. So I've heard this before because we've talked a lot about gratitude. It's what I'm trying to instill in my 8-year-old daughter a lot, about being thankful. But talk a little bit to Dave about how you got to the point where waking up each day and being thankful for what you have and helping others is now your mission.
Yeah, so when I lost everything, my wife was going to, two years before, leave me.
Right.
I was surrounding myself with the wrong people and the wrong ideas. I told you guys earlier, there's my daughter on your right shoulder there. Okay. I said, I always tell her, show me your friends, I show you your future. My future supposedly was so bright, but it was miserable because I was doing all the wrong things.
Yep.
Put it this way, I was hanging out in Vegas a lot. And for the wrong reasons.
Stuff. On
the wrong side of the strip.
Yes,
you know the side of the strip?
Yes. We know.
We see it.
And so what happened was my wife woke me up and basically said, look, you better take stock in who you are and what you want to become. I was a multi-millionaire.
Okay.
She said, because you're going to end up dead. And you have 3 daughters under 10. We're not going to be here. I'm leaving. And thank goodness I love my wife, because originally I told her I hated her and how dare you.
Yes.
But I woke up the next morning hating everyone, my mom, my dad, my best friend, because they were the only ones that told me the truth. Everyone else was telling me how great I was and spending my money while they were telling me how great they were. And then I looked at this jacket that my dad gave me. I hadn't seen it literally in 6 years. He bought me a sport coat when I was 30. First gift in 20 years he gave me. And I told him I hated him when he gave it to me, because he said, hang the jacket in the closet, don't wear it. I'm like, why? He goes, I tore out the pockets. It's like, why you tear out the pockets, man? This is a gorgeous sport coat. He goes, because money will not buy you love, Dave. You're just like me. You're just like me, son. Remind yourself you can't take anything with you when you're gone. These kids, that beautiful wife of yours, sorry, they're going to get, they're not going to care how much money you have, I promise you. And I told him, F you, you're a liar and cheater.
You can say it on this podcast.
You're a liar, cheater, manipulator, overseller, back-end seller. And I told him I hate you. 6 years later, that jacket, I think, saved my life. And it was no accident or coincidence that it appeared. And I looked at the jacket and I said to myself, I don't hate my dad, my mom, my best friend, and certainly my wife. I hate myself. And that's when gratitude, as I took stock in who I was, I realized that I was blessed with the gratitude gene. Here's the problem with gratitude. Everyone knows it'll change your life. It's easy to do. It takes 0.1 seconds, and it's free. But here's the problem with gratitude. I finally learned after all these years, Matt, why we, even me, forget to say it. Because the simple things to do are unfortunately simple not to do. And the most simplest way to change your life is to say thank you and to look positively upon things, find light, love, and lessons. And so I went on a mission as I made back all over $100 million I lost, as I made back my friendships that mattered, the people that I should surround myself with, I healed all that. I said to myself, I'm going on a mission to empower people to be happy, to make a lot of money, because I believe in making money helps you, if you shop for the right things, be happy, to help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. I think people take their lives way too seriously.
Oh.
And you guys, that's part of the reason I'm here. I know
Yeah.
you share my wisdom.
Oh, no
I'm
doubt.
not going to take anything seriously.
I think one angle that I think our audience would love to hear about is just the journey back up. Like when you realize, oh my gosh, everything has to change. Was it day to day? Was it month to month? I mean, how did you approach that to get yourself back to where you are today?
That's a great question because it's day to day.
I had a stroke to do it.
Wow.
That
that's
was
a
my
basement.
reset.
That's a basement.
I woke up and couldn't talk 2 years ago.
Oh, shit.
And literally it changed everything. But I had that experience and all that other stuff. You're talking, and
I had a
I'm hearing
financial
every word
stroke.
you're saying. Okay,
Yeah,
right. No,
right.
but like, does
couldn't-
it take a shock, like a punch in the face that you don't see coming to get you to that point?
I believe that it takes a shock to change your quantum nature. So if you are inherently have a physical, energetic, and genetic disposition, right? Because some people smoke. You see them in Vegas, right? These dudes smoke and eat fried food every day and live
Every
to
day.
100.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Because
Yes.
that's genetic and energetic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And so I believe that, yes, determinative upon what your genetics and energetics are, it takes a shock to create a change. See, I'm genetically and energetically a liar, a cheater, manipulator, overseller, and back-end seller. Makes me a great sales rep.
You can sell anything to anyone.
That's why I got rich,
exactly,
right?
right, yeah.
But it took
Yeah.
a major shift in my paradigm to say, wait a second, I need to change my quantum nature, my true being. And so I do believe, now, other things can change that aren't quantum. Like some people, if you're quantumly an alcoholic,
Right.
you need a bottom out or a drug addict
Right.
or a compulsive gambler.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But
yes.
like for me, I could use drugs all day long. It's
And it
not
didn't
quantum in
bother
my
you.
nature.
Right.
Like that wasn't something I had to bottom out for. But my relationship with money and my own truth, I had to change in gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and inspiration. The biggest paradigm shift that my bottom out helped me with is, and I told my mom when I lost everything, there's a low point of my everyday practices because
Right.
here 2 years I'm thinking I'm making changes and all of a sudden I lose over 100 mil and I have to go tell my mom I'm bankrupt. But worse, I didn't take her house out of my name, so she had to move.
Oh, no.
Yes.
And so I'm
Yeah.
crying.
Yeah.
I'm crying looking at her and I'm like, at that time, I'm like, I don't believe in God, Mom. And she was so supportive of me. I go, you have to move. She goes, are you okay? I said, yeah. I said, but, she says, you have faith in God, to me. I said, oh, I don't believe. I'm being punished, Mom. I've done everything I can to be right. For 2 years, I've been doing the right things. This is bullshit. And
Yeah.
my mom said, Dave, you believe in God. I said, I don't. She goes, no, you believe in the wrong God. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. And so my daily practices altered even more because instead of trying to get more healthy, more wealthy, more worthy,
Worse.
Yeah.
I literally said, I am. From that day on, I said, there is a God, an omniscient, all-powerful, whether it's religious, philosophical, theoretical, it
Right.
doesn't matter to me.
Right.
But I believe, once I started believing there's something bigger than me that loved me more than my mom and knew everything,
Right.
this bankruptcy was going to be worth something to me. This losing my mom's house, the blame, shame, and justification was going to propel me to a level that I never had been propelled to.
Your mom could have been different in that moment.
Oh,
'Cause
I
when
thought she
when-
would be. I thought she'd be like, Elizabeth, I'm coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that
And
moment,
Jewish guilt was never going to leave.
I mean, how
Oh,
big?
it
How
never
big was that
ends.
for your mom to go? Okay, like the house doesn't matter. You're
Yeah.
my son. I'm not. This stuff is all. You can't take it with you, like back to your dad in the coat, right?
Yeah.
You've had that moment now two separate times. One theoretical and one literal.
Amazing. And it made, like, I was in shock because I was prepared as I'm walking over to the house. And she was, I'm like, it's going to kill her or I'm never going to hear the end of it. Like, anytime there's
Either
a problem,
one.
she'd be like, I
Right.
told you so.
Oh, always.
Right? Like, you,
Always,
or,
yes.
or you, even worse, over here talking to her friends. Well, Dave lost my house. That was the one that would always kill me.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
But it was
yeah,
never
yeah.
that with her.
That was a kick
Right.
in
Right?
the nuts.
She, yeah, exactly. She only uses guilt for the
Donkey
little
kicking the
things,
nuts.
right?
Of
She's like,
course.
but not
Yeah.
for the big one. She just literally looked at me and she said, honey, I literally had to ask her, I go, did you hear me, Mom? I thought maybe she was in
Right,
shock.
yeah, no.
I go, I lost
No.
everything, including your house. You have to
Right.
move. She goes, I heard you. I'm worried about you. Do you need any money?
It's the-
And then I said, well, there is no God, right? And
Right.
She got offended.
She got
She-
mad.
yeah, of course.
Right?
And then rock my world for the second time, as my wife did. These are two women, for whatever reason, surround yourself with the right people, right
It's
idea.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was born into one, and somehow
Found the other.
God, and I met her in the 4th grade. She hated me. It was no accident. God put this woman, my wife, in my
David,
life.
I say the same thing. I was 32, living the life of Riley. I went to Curacao and ran an offshore sports
I'm a goodwill
boat.
ambassador to Curacao.
Oh,
Are you?
yeah.
I
Wow.
love
Stephen
Curacao.
Martin, the Prime Minister.
It's,
Wow.
it's an amazing place. But
Yeah,
I learned
love
a lot
it.
about life there, booking the games and doing all this other stuff in a gray area.
Yeah.
Come back to the United States. I'm Peter Pan. I'm still single, and I'm doing all these things. And I go to my brother's wedding, and my dad literally puts my now wife's hand and said, "Dave, this is the girl you're going to marry." I said, "Dad, slow down. I just want to hang out with her. Don't worry about it." Do you ever look back and think maybe God was talking to you in different ways through different people? Because I say nobody knows shit every day.
Me too.
Every
Ignorant
day.
arrogance. They pretend
Every
like they
day.
do.
But the kids know. My 9-year-old says stuff, and I don't know why she says it, and I know somebody's talking to me that way. And my dad's been gone 8 years, and he still talks to me every day. My wife says stuff. I don't know why she's saying it. My mother, still alive, God bless her, 79. Italian, 100% Italian growing up. My dad, Jewish growing up. I was raised with both.
Yeah, you got a lot of fire and guilt.
A lot of fire and guilt every day. But they say things like your mom said to you
Yeah.
that put you in a different place. Looking back, because I don't think you see it while you're going through it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you don't. In fact, my wife was pushed into me at a bar. I've known her since the 4th grade.
Yeah.
Now I'm 27. I just broke up with my fiance, not looking for a wife.
No.
And someone pushes this girl from the 4th grade into me, and we were in love literally from that time and got married, had kids, all this stuff. Last question?
Nope, they're giving us the rap signal. You
Yeah.
gotta
Oh,
go.
you gotta go.
But thank
Okay.
you for coming
Oh,
by.
thank
We
you,
really
sir.
appreciate it. This was awesome.
I will see you guys
We're
soon
gonna
in
talk more.
Vegas. You got it.
Please, in
Absolutely.
Vegas.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
David, beloved ones, thank
Yes.
you so much.
Thank you.
More to come on the after show here for the Bostonian versus the Book.